Those are some of the tweets I'm seeing while the World Cup is on. Now, if you've been seeing a few games of the World Cup, you've been seeing, obviously, a lot of the players are from different clubs that you know, right? I've been watching it from time to time, catching what I can catch. The earlier games, nothing too late. And I've been thinking, okay, the World Cup has started pretty decently. You've had some moments. And that's where the focus has been football-wise for myself. And I'm sure some smart people as well who have been watching World Cup and watching it and seeing the performances of the countries, right? So your focus, I will assume, will be on the World Cup. But what I've been noticing while I've been on Twitter, I've been seeing, for some strange reason, when the World Cup is on, Arsenal have been mentioned. I've been going on Twitter, just as you do. I've been seeing, for a strange reason, Arsenal have been spoken about in more ways than one. If you saw those tweets, those are just some of the tweets I've come across whenever Arsenal players have been playing within the countries they represent. This video is basically about the World Cup and how Arsenal are still a main attraction for some strange reason. Now, some people may say, oh, not on my timeline. I haven't been seeing that. It doesn't matter about your one timeline. It matters about many others. I've been seeing trending moments for Arsenal players. I've seen Gabriel trend. I've seen Hincapié trend. Obviously, they've played their games. People have made assessments on Arsenal based on other teams' playing style. People have made assessments on the players. Oh, Gabriel is not the same when he plays for Brazil. Gabriel cannot call on Saliba and Rice to help him and bail him out. I'm thinking to myself, can't you focus on the World Cup? The World Cup, the international teams that are playing. What has Arsenal got to do with it? I've seen this across the board since the World Cup has started. It seems the tweet that I saw also about the World Cup will distort or make people forget Arsenal's title win is a lie. If anyone has come across that tweet, you've got to question what's going on. I thought the World Cup is on. I thought we're having the moments to forget Arsenal's title win. It seems that ain't the case. It seems Arsenal's progress and success has irked a lot of people way beyond than I thought. From the outside looking in, it seems weird. If you're one of those people that's tweeted, you got a question. Is it because Arsenal provide you with your engagement? Is it because Arsenal enables you to have those likes that help you keep your relevancy that you need from Twitter or from any platform that you really say, look, I need this? Is it because without it, you feel like I'm fiending for this attention? Is it a lot of the time some people just say, oh, it's content. I'm just doing it for content. I'm just rage baiting. Is that the term now? Whatever it is, it's disgusting. Come on, focus on the World Cup. I've seen a lot of rival fans are not focusing enough on the World Cup. You're mentioning Arsenal, and it's weird. There's even been some other tweets. Oh, there's more. Undav offering more in 10 minutes than Havertz all game. 7 goals in 10 caps is an insane record too. So basically, he's mentioned in the game that Germany played that Havertz eventually scored 2 goals in. So quick to jump before you've seen the full resolution of a game. You need to take Arsenal out of your mouth and wipe your mouth. This is becoming nasty. There was another tweet in relation to going against what has been said in the mass tweets that I've been finding. And one says, these guys are basically watching the World Cup from the Arsenal hate watch lens. I've never seen this level of obsession before. Me too. This is weird, people. I know you want your engagement, but it's embarrassing. Find another route. Talk about the World Cup and relate it only to the players in what the teams are doing. Don't relate it to Arsenal, because if that's the case, that proves how big Arsenal are, and you're making the case. But why are you making Arsenal more important at a time when Arsenal are not playing? I'm just here to talk about it and scour some of these tweets because it's disgusting. No Saliba and Rice to cover up. No Raya to pull up that wonder save. This was the Brazil game that Gabriel played in. So when Brazil were playing, this is the tweet that came up. This is even a teachable moment in life. How it's important to focus on what you're doing before you look at a next person. Because that's when you start coming up with illogical assessments on things in general. You've got to focus, stay ready on what's important. Here's another one. Gabriel, outside of Arteta's system, looks so average, man. What has this got to do with the World Cup? What has this got to do with Arsenal? Arsenal in relation to Arteta's system and mentioning Brazil's system, which is a different system. I think you will find deficiencies in certain teams if they don't play a certain way. I think that's just logical. But to mention it, it's because you've got Arsenal on your mind and you're triggered at the fact that Arsenal have done well. You've got to focus on your club, people. Whatever club you support, focus on that. And whatever games are on, focus on the games and for what the games are. Focus on that only. Because this is embarrassing. South Africa with 9 men. And being absolutely shocking, still had more possession against Mexico than Arsenal did against PSG. Embarrassing. I think it's embarrassing, actually. To have Arsenal in your mouth, you've got to wipe the corners of your mouth. It's important to wipe them thoroughly. Because I know the engagement, the rage baiting, it's just content people are out in force. You know, when Arsenal are there as a topic, it helps. I get it. Just wipe the mouth after. That's all. There's another tweet. How do I tell my kids that Qatar vs Switzerland pulled a bigger crowd than Arsenal at their own Emirates Stadium when we played against them? You know what you will do? You will tell your kids that the Qatar vs Switzerland game, that stadium had more capacity in terms of it was built with a larger capacity. And Arsenal's one was built with a less size. So Arsenal's one is about 60,700. And I believe that stadium you're referring to that played the Qatar and Switzerland game was 68,000. So all you've got to do is explain that in football or in sports, there's stadiums and certain stadiums have different size capacities. So you just explain it in that regard. There's different capacities for different stadiums. So that's how you explain it to your kids. Daddy, why is that stadium bigger than that one? Oh, because they designed it for whatever purpose they could, based on obviously being able to have the planning permission to design it to a certain level, to a certain size, and they were able to design it at that time to that capacity that was required for the purpose of what the club wanted. That's it. You thought you had something there with that tweet. Again, focused on Arsenal. These are some of the tweets. I just wanted to do a quick video and mention that Arsenal are being spoken about. So all you Arsenal fans, I'm sure you're seeing things. Be aware if you're an Arsenal fan. This is, again, outside looking in. I see things, so I thought, let me mention this. Be aware, because Arsenal's win in the Premier League has irked a lot of people, even after it has been finished. The notion that Arsenal's Premier League will be overshadowed by the World Cup is a lie, because you're seeing tweets upon tweets when Arsenal players are representing their country. So, again, I was mentioning it's a teachable moment. Focus on what you do in whatever you're doing. Focus on what is the task at hand. Do not get distracted to a point where you start coming out with illogical assessments on what you're supposed to be focusing on, because then you're directionless. Then emotions start taking a better of you, you know, and you're not doing what's required when it's required. So, as the World Cup is here, enjoy watching it, people. We're trying to use some sense here as we assess things. That's what's messed up in the game right now. Everyone just wants to jump on this rage baiting. Oh, it's just content. Let me just throw this tweet out so I can get something out of it. Like, come on. Let me try and see if I can irk something so I can get some in my mentions. Get some back and forths. But let's use our sense. Take Arsenal out your mouth. Use the napkin to wipe your mouth. And if Arsenal keep winning more trophies as another season comes, what will happen then? I think it will be even more nastier, right? The comments. You probably even need a whole towel to wipe your mouth with the amount of times you're going to have to be speaking about Arsenal. So after all of what I've said, I think the best thing to do right now, if you're one of those people who tweet about Arsenal players and relate Arteta's system and Arteta's players to what you're seeing in other teams with a different system and different philosophies and different deficiencies, I think the best thing you can do right now, if you're one of them, is